Set pieces. It's Farrell on it again. Deep one around the back. And Quinn has scored. There is the breakthrough goal. It's Andrew Quinn. The underdogs bare their teeth and show their fight in this cup final. Drogheda United strike first.
Welcome to the We Are the Drogs podcast, a Drogheda United fans podcast, proudly sponsored by the Coffee Box.
Hello and welcome to the We Are the Drogs podcast, episode number 16. Delighted to be joined again by Owen. How you doing, Owen?
Great, how's it going?
And also delighted to be joined by Richie. How you doing, Richie?
Yeah, all good, lads. How's things?
Yeah, all good, all good. We'll, I suppose we'll start off with the game below Waterford. We've quite a lot of other things to talk about, but we'll get to them in due time. So yeah, Waterford lads, out of jail. That's what I'll begin by saying.
Yeah, we really did. Yeah, that was a big time out of jail. Without doubt. It was such a poor game, lads. It really was poor.
Yeah, it was probably one of our worst performances of the year, and look, we still fucking got a point out of it, so it's the positives out of the way.
Yeah, look, I suppose, how was the day? You both travelled down, so it was a good crack, good night?
Yeah, we had a great day. We got down nice and early, so we did, and we had a good few beers before the game. It was great. Bit of food as well, and we end up in Waterford, in the city there itself, with a drink as well, and walked out to the ground. And so yeah, it was great day.
Yeah, same. I was down there early enough. It's actually my first time being at a Waterford away game since 2007, the week after we won the league, and then it was my first time actually going through Waterford city itself. It was really impressive. A really nice city, good spot to go to.
Yeah, it's nice. I've always liked Waterford. We used to gig in it a lot, like back in the day, and yeah, it was always a good place to go. It's always good fun. The people are decent and some nice pubs, and it's small, so it's kind of handy enough to be wandering around. Like it's a good spot. The RSC, I think, is a different ball game. I wouldn't be overly fond of the ground. It's fucking miles away from the pitch and that running track around it and all that. I'm not a fan of, and it's very open ground as well.
I thought that was absolutely terrible. So it is for a football stadium. Terrible. Yeah. It was like, don't get me wrong, the two stands are good, don't they? They are quite good, but they might as well be in two opposite fields.
Yeah, way too far away from each other.
Way too far. Yeah. As you said, the big running track, and it just adds nothing. It's probably the worst atmosphere in the whole country.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that, Jay.
Yeah, I mean the pitch itself is all right, and as you said, the stands are cool, and then you've got the fan zone outside and the kind of surrounding area where the RSC is. It all feels kind of cool until you actually get into the ground, and then you're like, oh yeah, right, I forgot what it was like in here. It's just really not conducive to a decent football atmosphere. You'd have to have the place absolutely packed out, and even then, I just can't see there being much of an atmosphere. But look, that's that being said, the game itself, like, Jesus, lads, yeah, we'll get into the finer points of the game, but we definitely got out of jail. I think we can all agree with that. I mean, the first half in and of itself was, I mean, it wasn't the worst, it wasn't the best. It was a pretty even first half, if you ask me.
Yeah, it was, and like, I actually thought we started the game okay. Like, the first couple of minutes, I was like, yeah, actually, it looks like we're on it here. This could be good, but I don't know what happened there. I don't know. It was hard to put your finger on the performance. There was just nothing about it whatsoever. And that was both teams. Like, I heard every other bit Waterford fans, them dominating the game. But sure, Jordan just let teams have the ball. They're going to dominate the ball. That's every team dominates the ball against us. But
yeah, true.
I thought Waterford were poor as well. I thought they were really bad. Nothing about them either. You know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far. I thought they were decent enough now, to be fair. I thought they would have deserved to win now.
Yeah.
Obviously, not playing well helped as well, but I thought they were alright.
Yeah, no, look, they were definitely better than us now, but Don't
Doesn't
run
sound
away on their own.
Yeah, they seem a bit weak at the back. That'd be the big question that have them.
Yeah. I just, there's nothing about it. It's such a hard game to talk about because it was shocking.
Yeah, no, there's some of our own fans got frustrated. I seen there was one lad kicked one of the seats in the stand. He was that pissed off.
Oh.
Who was that on?
I'm not naming names.
Oh, God.
Was that a 2-1?
I think so, yeah.
Right,
Don't name any names.
No, we can all kind of guess who it might have been, but yeah, say nothing. Right, right, kind of had to go through the highlights again earlier, as usual. But I did watch the game on the telly, so my kind of takeaways was, as I said, the first half. I mean, we actually had more chances and probably better chances in the first half. There wasn't all that many, but I think we'd three or four, half decent chances. The first one was a Dougie chance on 15 minutes, and he kind of ran past, I think it was Darreliti, and got a decent shot off, but the keeper had his kind of, it was to the keeper's left, to Dougie's right, and the keeper he kind of ended up lashing it straight at the keeper. There wasn't much of a goal to aim at, but it was a half decent chance. And I think more or less that was on 15 minutes, and the Lonergan goal was on about half an hour, I think. But that goal came from us losing the ball in our own half. There was I think there was 3 different players had a touch of the ball. It was 3 passes, and it ended up with, I think it was Podge Hammond, and it ended up at Lonergan. And it was a deflected goal. It was a terrible, terrible goal to give away.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was just, and you know what, I don't know, were we missing Ryan?
Oh, I think big time.
Yeah. We just looked disjointed as a team. Even with that goal, put a tackle in. It was so easy for them just to get the ball up the pitch. As you said, we lost it, and then all of a sudden they were in our box.
Yeah.
And then just a deflection. But yeah, definitely think we were missing Ryan big time.
It was it wasn't a similar goal in the manner that Derry scored, because I know that was from way outside the area and it was just a punt and it deflected, but it definitely came off Lamb and it completely changed the direction of where the ball was going to go. So Dennison was just sort of rooted to his line. He had no chance.
No, there's nothing you can do with that one.
No, and it was a really, really poor goal to give away. I did hear, I think it was Kevin saying afterwards that we would 3 or 4 players on knocks, carrying knocks, excuse me. I think he said Shane Farrell, Markey, did he even say DJT at a knock, I think, and maybe Owen Lamb. The walking wounded out there, but it did look like it. We looked jaded and we looked devoid of, ideas. We just didn't look with it at all.
Yeah, no, definitely 100% agree with that. They just look so tired as a team. Yeah.
Perfect time for the break.
Sorry, Owen?
Just say it's a perfect time for the break, Just to let the lads recharge the batteries a bit.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%, because going in 1-1 at half time, you're thinking, right, we're good at changing things up. And to get the hairdryer treatment off Kev, because I wouldn't imagine he was overly pleased, but yeah, he's, as usual in sort of post-match interviews lately, he's kind of a bit, I don't know where he's coming from. He was very, very, very much in of the mind that, we were way the better team in the first half and they were the better team in the second half. I didn't agree. I thought it was a kind of a 50-50 first half. And it the scoreline reflected that. It was 1-1 at half time. We both had 3 or 4 chances. Nobody really dominated. It was just scrappy, bit of a shit game, to be honest. But Kev was of the opinion that we were way the better side in the first half. So, look, I don't know. He kind of comes out with these interviews, and sometimes you have to take a little bit of a pinch of salt.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't agree with him now that we were the better team in either half. Look, you're probably right, probably 50-50 the first half, alright. But
yeah,
you said, look, as I said, Waterford had on the ball, and it does make them look better than us, but they didn't do a whole pile with it either.
No,
in my opinion.
No, I would agree with that. So the draw, the goal, another one for Warren Davis. Great to see him scoring before the break. He'll go into that under-20 setup now full of confidence, and it was a kind of an uncharacteristic goal for him to get, like, in the box, wins a header in the box. Nobody really challenges for the ball, and he's probably one of the smallest fellas in there, especially going up against centre halves. I don't think Waterford are the biggest team in the world either, but the ball just seemed to just land on his head. Really, it was a great delivery, but Waterford would be absolutely raging with that. You know what I mean? That's seriously poor defending when Warren gets on the end of a header like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially from you'd expect your centre half to play that, wouldn't we, all day long?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even have to jump.
No, he sort of just stepped off the keeper, didn't he? He was clever now by Warren, in fairness.
Yeah.
He sort of stepped off the keeper, and look, it was all about the delivery. It was a great corner, and that makes a difference. It's so frustrating to see corners coming in and the keeper just claiming them, isn't it? It's so frustrating. But if you get a good delivery with a bit of pace on it and it's taking the keeper out of it, you've always got a chance.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, great goal. And it was great to equalise so quickly as well, because you're not under that, you're not being put under a lot of pressure for too long. You're kind of 5 minutes after they scored. I think we went up the other end and scored straight away. So, that brilliant reaction. But yeah, I don't think there was much more to talk about in the first half. We come out in the second half, and again, I mean, for the first probably 10, 15 minutes, it was even Stevens again for me until, I don't know, the last 20, 25 minutes, Waterford really seemed to step it up. And the amount of stupid mistakes we were making, giving away free kicks in the wrong areas of the pitch and just giving away the ball again. I know we keep saying this every week, but we just didn't look at it at all.
No, definitely not. And it's so hard, especially when you're going away to the League of Ireland. They're all such tough games, and the last thing you want to do is just giving the ball away after you win the back. And we just seem to keep doing that.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating to watch, and he must be pulling his hair out.
Yeah, very much so. Owen, do you want to contribute to this misery here or what?
Not really.
You've been way too quiet there, man. Me and Richie are fucking crying into our points here. Like.
Small, positive.
Yeah. Yeah,
we didn't fucking lose, that's the positive.
Yeah, there you go. Fair point, well made. Yeah.
Look, I suppose in fairness, it was a good response. And look, as you said earlier on, it's a good sign when you're playing bad and you're still getting a result, isn't it? And we bounced back twice. We went behind twice and we bounced back twice. So that is positive.
Yeah, look, we'll briefly talk through their second goal, because to me, when I've looked at it a couple of times as well, I know Paul Jammond is in a great position. He's onside and he's where he needs to be. But your man just I think your man takes a shot from the edge of the area. There's no way that was a pass to Hammond, and it just kind of lands at his feet and then bang. There's no way he's missing them from there. Like, he's a serious poacher, the lad, and you just can't let him into them positions unmarked. They don't even think the lads knew he was there.
No, definitely not. As you said, he just seems to be in the right place at the right time, doesn't he?
He's seriously clever. He lot games under his belt, and he's probably the best striker in the league.
Yeah, but he's probably the best box player in the league, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So much experience playing over in England. Like, he's 37 now. Like, still putting them away.
No, he's unbelievable, and he scores different kinds of goals. I mean, he scored a header against us as well. That was absolutely brilliant. Was it last season? Yeah, I think it was last season. That kind of made a brilliant header from the kind of the edge of the area. If you remember that goal, I mean, he's capable of scoring a lot of different kinds of goals. He's the kind of player you'd love to have in your team. He really, really is, and he defends, man. He was getting back behind the ball a lot all night. He was in his own box, kind of clearing balls at one point, and he looks seriously fit as well, and he's a real leader on the pitch. Like, they're blessed to have a player like that. He's absolutely class. I'd love to have somebody like that in the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was very impressed with their midfielder. Was it the 8 for them?
Yeah, I was surprised they actually took him off because I thought he was a good player. But yeah, he was very good.
He was brilliant, and then they took him off around the 70th minute, around that time. I was very surprised with that.
Yeah, I was. He was very threatening, and he looked one of the better players. And then they take him off. We've seen a few managers do that recently against us. Take off a player that you're thinking, Jesus, like.
Yeah. That was glad to see him going off.
Yeah, it was Shaz done as well. It was your man, Harry Wood. I thought he was brilliant. They took him off.
Yeah, I thought he was the best player, and then he just goes and pulls him off the pitch. You'd be delighted, like going, right, great. But what's he seeing that way or not? Like, you know what I mean? It's obviously some sort of formation thing, or I don't know. Very, very, very strange move. But yeah, look, the positive, lads, is that we go kind of down the other end of the pitch. I think it was what minute of the game was it? It's about the 92nd.
Second, yeah.
It was actually in the 93rd minute. It was the 93rd minute we got the equaliser. Again, great delivery and nobody anywhere near Keely, and the ball just ends up in the back of the net. It kind of bounces off him.
Yeah. But look, as again, it goes down to delivery. It was Cruz. Am I right saying it was Cruz that put the ball in?
Yeah. Right.
It was, yeah.
And I have to say, lads, that fella's a player. He is class.
Yeah, I'd like to let him come on. And that was the most, I think that was the most minutes he got on the pitch for us.
Yeah.
He can whip in a dangerous ball.
Yeah. Every time he comes on, every time he comes on, he does something. He causes problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very impressive. It was a great ball in for him, and as Rook said, Keely wasn't impressed at all, was he? He didn't even celebrate.
No.
Yeah, his interview after the game as well, he said he wasn't happy. He said it was nearly as bad as the performance against Rovers in Tala.
Yeah, it was.
But wasn't that good though? Like I was delighted when he didn't like jump up and down and celebrate us kind of robbing a point, because you don't want that. You want us to be pissed off at how shit we're playing. I thought that was great.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, it was a great reaction. It shows the standards that they've set.
Yeah.
And yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, he spoke really highly of Cruz as well. Keely said that he does that in training all the time. Cruiser, they were calling him. But he says he's really, really good in training. It's just unfortunate for him that he's in the same position as Conor Kane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, although he seems to have been thrown on in a few different positions by Kev. Like he's played up higher up on the left. He came on the right on Friday. So I think he might have come in playing in the 10 for one of the games, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Or nearly up top. So yeah, look, he's got a bit of versatility about him as well. Yeah, it's just a shame Conor Kane's ahead of him, like on the left, his preferred position, but he's great impact off the bench so far from him.
He really does, yeah. And he's like Healy as well. Healy's one of them players, as we said before. Great impact coming off the bench. And Cruz is one of them. It's great. Yeah. Very impressive.
So yeah, look, I suppose at the end of the day, we finished the night still in second place. We didn't lose. A point away to Waterford. It's probably not the worst. It's nothing to do with the point. The point's a decent point. If you had been down there and played really, really well, and it was a really, really good game, and you got a point out of it, you might be a bit more like, right, great point to get. But I think everyone was a bit kind of just disappointed with the overall performance for me. We just look like, as you said, Owen, we need this break. A lot of the players look wrecked and just look jaded, and they need a few days away from it all and kind of regroup and come back at it now. It's Pats is our first game after the break. 13. Yeah, Friday 13. So we need to look toward that. I mean, I think Pat's got a win, a 1-0 win, and they really needed that as well. So it's going to be tough going to Inchicore, and we're going to be without Elisha because the stupid idiot went and just kicked the ball away for no reason.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
How pointless was that?
Look, I actually missed his first yellow card a few minutes before that, but Jesus, yeah. There was no need for him to do it, like, especially because there was another ball sitting on the cone, so there was no point in him booting that ball away anyway. Like, he didn't even waste any time, like.
No, there's fucking ball boys everywhere now with ball. Like, doing that makes no sense. Like, it was just a rush of blood to his head.
Yeah, I think so. Look, lesson learned.
I know what happened there, lads.
You do know?
Yeah, at least I had 2 weeks holidays booked. So, he said, I'm getting another week off, so I am.
No, he's not, because he has to come back to training even if he is suspended. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was stupid. And you know what? It's not like him. He's usually fairly calm and relaxed in them situations, but he just swung his boot at it. Like, pointless.
Yeah. Oh, it was so frustrating. It was just, thank God it was in the 97th minute or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Because if he had done something like that, and we had like 5, 6, 7 minutes still to go in the game, you'd be really worried that we would have conceded again.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we leave Waterford there, boys, and just take the point and back up the road and then, yeah, look forward to other things. So, look, just to talk about something a little bit more positive, I suppose, the charity game on Saturday, I didn't make it to the game. I had other arrangements, but they ended up raising €20,000.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, it really was. Fair play to them. Absolutely brilliant.
And it looked great. It looked like a deadly day.
It did, yeah. It went up, literally as soon as I got home from Waterford, they went right back out up to United Park or Sullivan Land Park for the match. There was a great crowd at it as well.
About 800 at it.
Jeez, I wouldn't have a clue counting and all that, but the clubhouse stand was fairly full, and then there was a good crowd in the away end as well. Yeah, Joe, it was good to see some old faces back there. Webster, Adam Foley. I think they forgot to tell Graham Glenn it was a friendly match because he was fucking flying in tackles.
Was he?
he busted some fella to go off injured.
No way.
He never changed, did he?
He's playing midfield as well, actually, when I seen him.
Was he?
Yeah.
Deadly. And did any of the ultras on the Scotland stand out now? Any nice players?
There was actually a couple of decent ballers on each side, yeah. A couple of really bad ones as well.
Right.
But there was a couple of lads you could tell some lads obviously play with like local teams or whatever. Definitely enough.
Yeah. The fit looking ones.
Yeah.
Class. What was the score in the end? I think did they finish 4-3 or something?
5-3, I think.
5-3. And did the ultras win?
Ultras won, yeah.
Ultras won. All right. Everyone was a winner on the day. 20 grand is that's a serious fucking wedge for so sad, and the women's were actually huge. That's just brilliant. I'm delighted for them. Class.
Hopefully it's a yearly now, so we can look forward to it again next year and raise even more maybe.
I can imagine it is something that they need to continue doing. It's just such a massive success. I met a good few of them that night. I ended up down in Sarsfields for a point or two, and there was a good crowd of them out. So yeah, they were really enjoying themselves. They said they had a deadly day. So fair play to them.
There as well, just as well on the ultras jerseys were brilliant. With the 45 in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, class, yeah. Both sets of jerseys were really nice.
Yeah, that was class. I definitely think they could sell a few of them. I'd say they'd be a big seller.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, they were class looking.
I did see Jake on the Supporters Club Facebook page saying that a few people were asking about their ones with Solsad on them. Or would they be willing to get Jake was asking if we got a load made, who'd be up for buying one. So they might be up for sale. I don't know. I'm not sure about the ultras one, but definitely the ones that the lads are wearing with Solsad on it. A few people seemed interested in buying them. So I'm sure again more money for the charity, so that'd be cool.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, done really well.
Yeah, brilliant. Right, will we get to the elephant in the room? Oh, my God. something that we've all known about for months, but I kind of put it to the back of my mind, and I wasn't really kind of paying much attention to this Silkeborg crowd, like, who I know nothing about really, only what I've learned about through Barry Landy talking about them and that. But so they've qualified for the UEFA Conference League as well.
Yeah. And you know what? As you said, Greg, so we all knew about it. Like everybody knew about this was happening. Now, it was only, I think, you put a message up on Sunday on the WhatsApp to say this is going on at the minute. Do you win it 2-1 ready?
2-0.
2-0, and we all like, right, geez, this is a big possibility it's going to happen, you know. And then Sunday night it just kicked off, didn't it? After they won.
Yeah, people started panicking and stuff, and like the club put out a statement, which I know some people are complaining like that didn't really tell them anything, but if they didn't release anything, there'd be even more fucking panic.
I don't know, did the statement help, did it?
No.
I don't know, they had to say something, but obviously it's like a lot of legal shit that they can't really say too much either, so yeah, damned if you do and damned if you don't say anything, like.
Yeah. Personally now, I'm not concerned. I'm really not.
I'm not massively now.
No.
Okay.
I think the fact that you knew about it for so long, it's not as if it only happened on Sunday gone. It's not as if all of a sudden, oh shit, this is happening. Like, I hope and I trust that the club and the new owners have been working on this the last couple of months, and they've been doing everything right to sort it out.
Yeah, I'd imagine it even longer than a couple of months.
Yeah.
Like they had to have a contingency plan in place. We obviously won't. I'd imagine we'll hear about it soon enough because the draw is in 2 weeks away, so it'll have to be sorted before then. And we're not the only ones in that boat as well. Crystal Palace, I think, are in the same. They have to go to UEFA for similar things. So
yeah.
And if we were to get kicked out, I think, as far as I know, we'd be the first club ever to get kicked out. But so look, it's just a case of crossing T's and dotting I's, hopefully.
Yeah. What do you think, Rex?
I've got just to get it a bit clearer in the mind. Like Silkeborg, did they qualify through their league position, or was it a cup or a playoff, or what way did that work?
So basically, I looked this up because I'm a fucking nerd. The Danish league splits in two. So there's like a championship, I think it's top 6, and then below that is the relegation round. So Silkeborg finished in the bottom half, which is the relegation round. But if you finish the top of that, which would be 7th place, you go into a playoff with, I think, whoever finishes 3rd or 4th in the league.
What?
Yeah, it's mad. Like, so literally, if you finish 5th in the league, you're nearly better off dropping down and playing because then you play the easier teams.
Yeah.
You can back a bit of it. So they were in a playoff against, they must have been the 4th place team or something. But they also were in the cup final as well, which would have got them, I think, Europa League, but they lost that.
Yeah.
So I think it could even be the 5th place team that they played in that European playoff, but that's how they got in.
That's crazy.
So the Northern League is like that as well. Up and up. The NIFL is like that as well. Like, I think Clifton will make it this year, or they were. There was one more team up north that they finished fairly low, but they also made Europe because they won this playoff.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know what? It's mad to think because I know now it goes by the point system, isn't it? Obviously, Denmark a higher point system than Ireland, so we'd miss out. The Irish club would miss out. But surely, winning a major cup in your country, which we did, compared to a team that finished in a relegation half of the table, but that team still gets preference to win to Europe than us.
Yeah, it's just the way the UEFA League rules are, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's wrong though to think that like we won a major trophy, they didn't. They were fighting in a relegation half of the table, but still they get preference.
So also we qualified for Europe before Trevella ever bought Silkeborg.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Am I right? Am I right in saying that it's something to do with coefficient? Like the Danish league does rank higher than the Irish one, so they get preference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Also, you'd have to imagine that Trevella were watching very, very closely, thinking, right, we're in a cup final, so we have a chance of getting Europe through the cup final. But Europe would have been the UEFA League. It would have been the league above the conference. Is that right?
Yeah.
And that wouldn't have had any bearing because it's two different competitions.
Correct. Yeah.
And it would only have a bearing then if, by some mad miracle, that we got through a few rounds of the conference and they get knocked out of the UEFA, that you get kind of kicked down to the conference. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And what would fucking, I know this is very imaginary, but what would happen then if Drogheda were after winning a couple of games in the conference, Silkeborg didn't win any in the UEFA League, and then they were kind of dropped down into the conference? You know, what's going to happen? What would happen then? That's bizarre, like.
Yes. I suppose since you've let them start in their competitions and you knew it was a possibility, you'd have to let it keep going, like. But,
okay. Yeah, look, I mean, and there's a ton of examples, because people have been sort of digging into it now for the last few days and throwing all these examples, like the two Red Bull teams and Man City and whoever else. I can't bloody remember now. But, say again?
Man United are one as well.
Man United and Leon, is it?
Nice, Palace and Leon and Brøndby, I think.
Right.
Yeah. And basically, they have to. I was looking up the rules and stuff. So you have to sort of show how the two clubs are, how they have to be run independently.
Okay.
So that nobody is making, say, sporting decisions on both sides. So our board and their board, the only person that's on both of them is Ben Boycott.
Right.
He's the co-chair of both. Right. No, he's not CEO. We have a separate CEO, which is probably part of also showing that we're run separately from Silkeborg and that. Ourselves will also be more intertwined because our director of football is basically the Trevella director of football, so he works with Walsall as well. And then our chief finance officer is Trevella. So if it was Walsall and us, then we'd be fairly fucked. But there's not a whole lot of connection. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of connection between us and Silkeborg, but it's just Ben Boycott on the board, as far as I know.
Would it be just a matter of him stepping down from that job?
It could be something like that, or yeah. There's also stuff you can do, like I don't really know a whole lot about it. It's called a blind trust. So you basically put one club is under control of like a separate company, just so that the other person can't have any say on transfers and stuff like that. So it's.
Is it too late in the day to do that, though? I would have imagined. Would you not have had to have done that a while ago? Because you've only got 2 weeks.
I wouldn't say. I'd say once you give UEFA guarantees that you're doing it or whatever.
Yeah, I suppose the competition hasn't started yet either.
Yeah. Sure, this will be always the case. You won't know until like the end of May who's in Europe and who's not. So.
Yeah, and the fucking irony of all the situation is we're talking about UEFA here. They're fucking corrupt as fuck. All of these organisations.
Yeah.
They've no bother letting fucking Israeli club teams come and play their football in Europe, and then, the shit that's gone over there, and they don't ban any of them teams out of it, but they'll ban all the Russian ones, you know what I mean? Give me a fucking break here, like.
Yeah.
And we might get punished. We might get punished as football supporters for absolutely nothing. I don't think we will. I'm quite confident that it will get resolved. But, the kind of neck on these people, like, I mean, what difference does it make if Drogheda and Silkeborg are both in the same competition? Like, imagine getting drawn against them. That'd be mental. But, like, Silkeborg don't seem to be too happy with the whole Trevella crowd anyway. They didn't want this.
A lot of opinions. Yeah.
They don't seem to have made any statement regarding this at all.
Oh, because they know they're safe regardless, that's why.
Just because of their league is ranked higher than ours type thing. That's what gives them safety.
Yeah.
Right. Fucking hell.
Now look, lads, as I said, I'm definitely not concerned. Like Sunday night, reading some of the comments and the overreaction Sunday night was absolutely laughable. Like nobody, like it was only a few hours old. and people are on about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like you have to trust that the club and the new owners know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
In my opinion, like,
it's something to work
you
on
said,
for months as well.
yeah,
I think that statement was probably drafted months ago. It wouldn't surprise me if it was.
yeah, just be ready to,
Yeah, just in case.
yeah, yeah. Like, as I said, I definitely trust the new owners. They know what they're doing. They're not a bunch of amateurs. These are businessmen. These are lads who own full football clubs. You know, and they're not just going to just like let the ball drop. I'm sure. Like, look, I suppose I'm trusting them here. I hope you don't get me wrong.
As you just said there, Richie, like at the end of the day, like all these people come from business backgrounds, and I'd say some of them are absolutely ruthless when it comes to it, because you don't get, this Travella group is worth fucking billions, like, you know what I mean? There's some serious money behind them, and you know, you don't make a decision to buy another club that could potentially sort of lose you. Like, there's over, what is it, over 500,000 for Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, 550, I think, at least.
Exactly.
And
not including the receipts, or if you're selling the extra merchandise or anything as well on top of that, TV rights.
And if you get through a round, and you know what I mean, so you could be talking a goods of £1 million or something. Who knows? I'm not sure what kind of money you're talking about, but you're guaranteed the 550. I mean, that's massive money to League of Ireland football, and to draw the United, you know, to draw the United 2 or 3 years ago, that's just absolutely huge money. And I can't see Travella kind of scoffing their nose at that, and you know, not making the effort to make sure that this goes correctly. I ended up kind of getting into a discussion online, and I think probably most of us did, with a chap on the Draw the United page, and he seems like a decent fella, and I'm not having a go at him at all, but he was kind of the mind that, look, if Favela have fucked this up, we need to get rid of them, type thing. And you're kind of going to him, mate, there's no getting rid of anybody. It's Travella owns a football club for a start, and if you get rid of them, we haven't a pot to piss in, is what I'm saying. And you know, we'd be an amateur club hanging around down the bottom of the first division if they hadn't have come in. So there's no getting away from, you know, there's no walking away from Travella, like.
No, absolutely.
They own the club.
Yeah, they own us now. Yeah. Yeah. No, but look, as I said, I just thought it was a massive overreaction Sunday night reading some of the stuff, and I didn't just get involved in it.
I got the impression, Richie, that some of the overreaction, and again, look, if there's any who's listening to this, I'm not saying everyone that overreacted, but some of the people that overreacted, I think, have only been coming for the last couple of years, maybe.
Yeah.
And they don't remember what things were like, you know what I mean, in the bad days. Like, we all remember what the bad days were like, and there was fucking 200 of us stood up there. We were suffering big time, and then it got better on a shoestring budget, but there was only so long that we could ride a luck with no money whatsoever and part-time players. We wouldn't be full-time if it wasn't for Travella. And I'm no lover of the multi-club model. The idea of, as I said, I've said this numerous times, the idea of American billionaires coming in and buying our football club is not what I ideally would want. But I understand where in the modern world where we are right now at this minute. You know what I mean? Look at Sligo, fan-owned club, which is brilliant, and I'm delighted for them. They're going to get the new stadium and everything, which is class. But until they get some sort of investment and some sort of money coming in, which they're going to have to do, they're going to have to do the German model, which is the 51%. Every single club is 51% fan owned, and then the minority stakeholder is some sort of an investor, which is great. And I know Red Bull have got around that, but like, you know, we're not Sligo. We don't have that tradition in the town of, you know, the whole town rallying behind Drogheda United and these massive fundraisers, and they've been doing that for years, and it's admirable, and it's class, and fair play to them. But that's not us, and we couldn't just turn into that overnight. That takes years.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, we wouldn't be full time at the minute without these owners.
Yeah.
You'd be fucking cannon fodder.
We'd be propping up the table, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree.
There's no doubt. And I mean, it's a silly argument to be getting into, because there's no, like, Travella own the football club, so unless they want to sell it to someone else. It's never going to happen. So we're just going to have to sit tight. And I'm erring on the side of optimism. I don't think I'd be unbelievably shocked if we didn't get to play in Europe. I'd also be horrified, but I just can't see it happening.
Yeah, well, I've heard now that there is a plan in place, that the club are working on it, all right. And like, as I said, it only happened on Sunday, so surely they have to go to make them show, look, this is it, this is this club, this is the other club, this is how both of them are ran, and this is, like, you have to show the books, I'd imagine, like, and all that. Like, you're not going to show on that Sunday night. That's going to take a few days or maybe a week, the process.
Yeah, I would agree with you that I reckon Travella had all of the relevant paperwork done and they're ready to pull the trigger on what they're going to do on Sunday, on the day that Siltburg qualified. I can imagine Ben Boycott and them are sitting there going, right boys, this has happened. We know what we have to do. Now let's do it and do it quick.
Yeah. And look, I said, it is going to take a few days for it to happen.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Just let's wait and see, isn't it?
Yeah, if there's some sort of restructure that needs to be done or something, again, it'll take a bit of time, but it'll also be sorted before we got 2 weeks, so.
Yeah, before the draw.
Yeah, I haven't cancelled my annual leave yet anyway, I'll put it that way.
No. I didn't ask for mine yet, so I'm still waiting. The other funny thing that came out of it was fucking a few Derry fans got jumping up and down going, I've heard we've been put on standby and all this kind of shit. And it turns out that they didn't even apply for a UEFA licence.
Yeah, so like nobody else did apart from the teams in Europe.
Why would you?
But it's happened before that teams have just applied for in the event that, like, I think Pats did it. Do you remember a few years ago Waterford got excluded?
Yeah.
Now that wasn't over the three club or the multi club. That was to do with they were basically in a way sort of reformed, and their company was less than 3 years old. And so you think your company has to be at least 3 years old to
play in Europe.
So that's where they were fucked up. But Pats, who would have missed out, they applied for UEFA licence, and then they got Waterford's spot.
Sneaky bastards, they knew.
Yeah. I was just reading earlier, it was on foot or something. Longford applied for one before just for the crack, like, so in the event of anything weird happening.
Man, it would want to be the end of the world for fucking Waterford. Longford to get the Europe out of the blue. Oh God, no offence, Longford, so grand. But yeah, no, when I read that about Derry on Sunday night, I was just thinking, oh no. Can you imagine? That would be the biggest kick in the teeth. The team that you bet in the cup final end up taking your place, and it being them as well would just kill me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You've seen all the usual stupid comments from other clubs, and we know what other club as well will delight with themselves they are, so they're probably wetting their pants they are.
Aye, fuck them. We know what's coming down the road for them anyway, so.
Yeah, absolutely. But, it's, and it wouldn't be a good look either on the League of Ireland there, wouldn't that as well? I mean, like, one of the Irish clubs missing out on the spot, so I'm sure the FAI, as much as the Sheriff Fucks they are, I'm sure they're helping Drogheda United as well.
If only John Delaney was still there, he'd pull a few strokes and have it all sorted in a day.
Yeah.
Just go and buy points. Just go on the piss over in Switzerland and buy points for all the lads.
Yeah, don't worry about the football.
Yeah, look, there's not much more we know about it. So we're going around the houses, conversation wise. We just have to dig in now and just wait and see. And it's weird that it was during the break too, because it's always kind of quiet during the break.
Yeah, not too quiet for us.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. The other thing I just wanted to touch on, lads, is we've seen that the Walsall put out their contract sort of contracts going into the season, who's been let go and who's been retained and who's been brought in on a professional contract and blah blah blah. So Dougie and Alicia are both on it. And what did it say for Dougie's?
I'd reviewed it.
It's in discussion.
In discussion. Was that how they ordered it?
Talks ongoing or something, like that.
Yeah. And Alicia obviously has 6 months left on his, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, okay. So there's nothing. There's no information there. We're still kind of waiting just to see what's going to happen with the Dougie fella. None of you have heard any other rumours or anything? No, still the same.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, nothing at all.
No. So look, yeah, right. So that's it.
No news, yeah.
No news for me. No gossip, Richie.
No. I'll try and find something out.
I need to go out and wreck his car out in Cloghead, so he has to go back out to Martin.
That's a good idea,
yeah. Yeah, lads, before we finish up, so next game, Friday week, away to Pats. Fingers crossed. We'll be missing Alicia, but we sort of know what our kind of setup is going to be there, I would imagine. Ryan back into the team. Didn't seem to have any fresh sort of bad injury worries. We've a few carrying knocks, but you'd imagine they'll all be sort of fairly refreshed after a week's holidays and then a week's training.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, come here. I know, at least, but come here. We have to go on the whole start of the season without him, so I imagine Bonds will just step in there.
His boys are back, or what?
Was he injured now?
He wasn't in the squad the last couple of games.
Yeah, I thought he noticed that alright.
So I don't know why. I haven't heard anything about him.
Right. Yeah.
Well, look, if it's not Bulger, it'll be Cooper, and then Lamb will go out to, Alicia's position. So that's just, we know what it'll be. And again, I presume we've literally no word about Josh Thomas, so we haven't got a clue when he'll be back. But yeah, so.
I did know that Dougie was taken off. He was sort of holding, I don't know, his ankle or his calf.
Yeah.
Waterford.
Yeah.
So,
Dodgy did say he had a knock.
Yeah, hopefully nothing too serious.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine it was. It was probably just one of them things. So, look, lads, we'll leave it there. And are we going to do one next week? Probably don't have a lot to talk about.
We might have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a very good point, Owen. Yeah, so we'll leave it up in the air and we'll see if things kind of develop between now and then. We might come back and have another chat about that. If it's a negative, we'll definitely be back. But we'll see what happens. But anyway, look, lads, good talking to you again, and we'll see you in Inchicore on Friday week.
Friday week, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Alrighty. Cheers, lads.
Alright, boys. All the best.
And the fishermen come, and the fishermen go, and the water gets dirty all the time. Pollution, it's killing all the fish, and it's hard to make a living on the point. Less than 20